It's been more than 7 years since I left St. Mercy's Hospital, but even now, I still remember that night. Every single detail, the smell of old medicine, the cold air in the corridors, the sound of flickering lights above my head. That night changed everything for me, because that was the night I realized that not everyone who walks those hospital halls is alive. I used to work the night shift in the old wing of the hospital, the part that was closed down after the fire in 1999. They said the walls were too weak and the roof wasn't safe, but everyone knew there was another reason. People had seen things there, things that didn't belong in this world. Some nurses said they heard voices whispering their names in empty rooms. Others said they saw shadows moving under doors when no one was inside. I never believed any of those stories. I was logical, realistic, and honestly thought they were just tired or scared. But one night, everything changed. It was a cold Wednesday night in November. I was alone in the East Wing, doing my usual round with a flashlight and my radio. The rest of the hospital was quiet. Only the hum of machines and the distant sound of the elevator moving up and down. Around 2:45 a.m., I stopped for a moment near the nurse's station to write my report. That's when I heard the sound, a sharp crackle from the intercom speaker above my head. Then a faint voice came through. It was full of static, but I heard the words clearly. Room 304 needs assistance. My pen froze in my hand. Room 304 was in the burned section. No one had entered that area in years. The power lines were disconnected. There was no equipment, no lights, no working intercom. I felt a chill crawl up my spine. For a moment, I thought maybe it was a prank from another staff member. But when I checked the security cameras on the small monitor next to me, every screen for the East Wing was black. No signal. I decided to check it out anyway. I don't know why. Maybe curiosity. Maybe something else. I grabbed my flashlight and started walking down the long corridor toward the old wing. The moment I stepped past the metal doors that separated the active area from the closed one, everything changed. The air felt heavier, colder. The smell of burnt plastic still lingered in the walls after all those years. My footsteps echoed loudly against the floor, even though I was trying to move quietly. The lights above flickered weakly, like they were fighting to stay on. My flashlight beam moved across the broken tiles and cracked walls. When I passed room 302, I heard a faint sound. It was soft, like someone breathing slowly behind the door. I stopped, listening carefully, but the sound vanished. My heart started beating faster. I wanted to turn around, but something in me said to keep going. Finally, I reached room 304. The door was slightly open, hanging crooked on its hinges. The room number plate was half burned, but I could still read it. 304. I pushed the door open slowly. It made a long, low creaking sound that echoed down the empty corridor. The inside of the room was dark, except for a faint green light flickering from a monitor in the corner. But that wasn't possible. There was no electricity in that wing. I stepped closer. The monitor flashed for a second. For a moment, it showed a bed with a figure lying on it. Pale skin, still body, eyes wide open. The figure was staring directly into the camera. My throat went dry. I turned my flashlight toward the bed in the room. It was empty. No one was there. I could feel my heartbeat in my ears. Then the temperature dropped. I could see my breath in the air. I took a step back, but before I could move further, I heard a whisper right next to my ear. It was so close I could feel the air move against my skin. The voice was soft, weak, almost like a cry. "Please, don't leave me." I spun around, shining the flashlight in every direction. The room was empty. The curtain by the window moved slightly, even though there was no wind. I started backing toward the door when something caught my eye. In the glass window of the door, I saw a reflection. A woman standing behind me. She was wearing a hospital gown, her skin pale and grey, her hair messy and wet, as if she had just come out of the rain. Her eyes were empty, completely black. I turned around instantly, but she was gone. The monitor in the corner started beeping rapidly. Then, all the lights in the hallway outside started flickering at once. The intercom crackled again, screaming with static. Underneath that noise, I heard crying. Not from one person, but from many. It sounded like dozens of voices whispering, crying, begging. I ran. I didn't care about the flashlight anymore. I just ran toward the main corridor, my footsteps echoing loudly. As I reached the end of the hallway, I heard something behind me, doors slamming shut one by one. When I turned around, I saw every door in that corridor slowly opening again, one after another. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely grab the handle to the exit. I threw myself through the metal doors and fell onto the clean, bright floor of the active ward. The security guard found me sitting there, pale and shaking. When I told him what had happened, he looked at me silently for a long time. Then he said, "That part of the hospital has no power. It's been disconnected for years. Whatever you heard, it wasn't from inside." The next morning, the technicians checked the intercom logs. There was one call recorded at 2:47 a.m. from room 304. A single voice repeating the same words, "Room 304, needs assistance." But that line was officially cut off after the fire. A week later, I quit my job at St. Mercy's. They eventually demolished the entire East Wing. But deep down, I know that didn't change anything. Some things don't stay buried just because you tear down the walls. Sometimes, when I wake up late at night, I still hear it. The faint crackle of the intercom and a soft voice whispering right next to my ear, "Please, don't leave me.